Yo, you guys, this is Blacklist of the Abyss, and you're watching my review for Shokugeki no Souma, aka Food Wars, Chapter 117. Alright, and this has been a busy week for me because I had my final assignments due, one of which was a 20-page paper, and which was due on Monday, by the way, which is, I didn't even bother reading the chapters on Monday when they came out because I didn't even have a chance to. Alright, but there are also a bunch of events going on this week because I'm graduating on Sunday, so it's just like a really busy week for me. I guarantee you probably none of my reviews will be out on time until like maybe next week because Monday I might be traveling. So I it's just know that if my reviews are late, then that's because stuff is happening. It's a lot of stuff is going on. All right, but reviews up now. All right. And as far as this chapter goes, I was pretty much right about the Shokugekis being off-screen because for the most part they were. Um, well, rather than saying that they were off-screen, we actually did see them. It's just we didn't see the Shokugekis themselves. We just like skipped the Shokugekis and we just saw the beginning and the end. All right, and this entire chapter was pretty much just Soma competing in these three Shokugeki, and then people watching him and reacting to it, including the people from the Polar Star who returned in this chapter, including Ibusaki. So I figured he'd be fine, but yeah, but he is all right. Um, Now this first Shokugeki, the original one that started before, um, the one against the Iron Skewer. All right. When he won that, it ended up getting. He didn't ask for anything like serious, like abandon your club or leave the school. He didn't ask for something serious like that. He only wanted more lessons on skewering. Okay, so he won that, and because this guy is an expert when it comes to skewering, it's he's got an expert to teach him yet another aspect of cooking that he's not familiar with. It's not that he's not familiar with. It's just that it's not his skill set. All right, it's not in his skill set. It's not something he specializes in. All right, so Soma is taking advantage of all these challenges. He's taking advantage of his placement in the Fall Classic in order to try and absorb as much knowledge as possible. All right, that way he can get even closer to shaping his own style, which is a good thing. All right, so Soma is definitely learning. He's the opposite of Arena. Arena is good, but she's complacent, which is complacency is something that's been brought up a couple times already. Um, she's complacent. She thinks that she doesn't really need to absorb as much as Soma is trying to because she thinks she's already at a point where it's just like she thinks she's already as not necessarily as good as she can be, but like at a point where no one can catch her, except for the people higher than her in the Elite 10, obviously. All right, but yeah. Soma ended up getting those lessons from the first Shokugeki. We weren't actually told what he got from the second and third Shokugeki, but it would be interesting if it came up later as a plot point, wouldn't it? Um, like if they just try and make us forget about these two Shokugeki by just not even mentioning them, but then Soma finds himself in a position where it looks like he's going to fail or he's going to lose, but then all of a sudden, as a plot twist, he brings out something that he got from one of those two Shokugeki, like, oh, well, um, now, if it, like, I don't know, maybe it's some type of information or some type of, maybe it's a tool of some sort, like a knife, maybe it's some type of information on a certain type of cooking that is incredibly useful in the specific challenge that he's going for. Like, I don't know. Like, it could be, like, whatever he gets from the Shokugeki could come up later as a plot twist to save Soma from a potential losing situation. And if that happens, I think that'd be cool. But for now, I'm thinking that they're just not going to be relevant. I think this is just a way to hype up the clash of the two classes, the second years and first years, which is what this chapter was pretty much, just hyping the clash of these two. All right. Um, which brings me to the last part of the chapter, actually. It's the introduction of the next mini arc. I say mini arc because it's not going to be a full arc, I'm pretty sure. All right. It is the Momiji Maple meet and greet. All right. And this is when all the first years, or the top first years, um, this is when the first years are going to have an opportunity to mingle with the entirety of the school, the second years and the third years, which means this is going to be our first opportunity to meet the entirety of the Elite 10 Council. All right, and I am looking forward to this because we know about three. I'm gonna say three of them, but we're about to learn about more. That's exciting. These guys have gotten so much build up and so much development. Like, I mean, Arena is number 10, and even she's at a point where someone's like, she's really freaking good. Like, even Arena is being put on this pedestal where she's above everyone else. Then Ishiki just blew Souma away. And he's what, 7? So I mean, like, these people are being built up so much, and they're like the lower ones. Like, imagine when we get to like 1 and 2, like there could be like, oh my god, like they're gonna be so legit. Like this is a big deal. We're finally meeting the entirety of the Elite 10 Council. So I'm definitely looking forward to this. All right. Plus, I mean, this arc will be good just because of the Elite 10 Council, but I'm sure there will be other top second years and other top third years out there as well. Like, for instance, we saw some people in this chapter watching Souma during his Shokugekis, and there were some people whose faces got blacked out, but we could like see them like talking and saying, you could hear it's Souma. Like, so you could tell they're well, we don't know if they're top second years or top upperclassmen or anything, but you know what I mean. Like, there are definitely going to be top second years and top third years who are interested in the guy who called out the entire school twice. All right, like, I mean, it's not going to be a full length arc, but it's going to be really freaking good, and just the hype, just hyping this entire arc up, the hype from this upcoming arc and the hype for the clash of the two classes, which is going to be what the next couple arcs are probably focused on. That alone is worth giving this chapter a 7.5 out of 10, because while it was a relatively simple chapter with not much going on, it was just Souma having some off-screen Shokugekis, pretty much, people showing up and people watching. That's what the majority of this chapter was. It's pretty simple, okay? But the hype alone makes this chapter worthy of a 7.5 out of 10. All right, so that's my rating for this chapter, and that's that, you guys. Rate, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at BlacklistOTA, and I'll see you guys next time.